All right. What is commitment? Welcome back. We actually tried a dry run and I didn't like it because it felt just, dry and unenthused. And I'm talking about the session, you know what I mean. So without getting all like unnecessarily like, content wise to keep the attention and keep the interest, let's just cut to the shit. So what is commitment? Okay. A while back, I put out a thing on Instagram that said, good. What if it's good, fast, or cheap? You got three options behind your fitness journey.
Yep.
Okay. You can have this solution to your shenanigans solved with using three things to describe or define that particular solution. You can have it fast, you can have it good, or you can have it cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can't have all three, but you can have two of the three. So you can have it. If you want it fast and good,
it's not gonna be cheap.
Then it's not going to be cheap, right? You're looking for a one pump chump, and it's just no good. You know what I'm saying? It's going to cost you later down the road. Yeah, and if you don't have a plan B, you're in some trouble. Okay, so okay, if that's fast and good, right? It's not going to be cheap. If it's fast and it's cheap,
it's not going to be good.
Hell no.
Mm-mm.
That's that beer goggle type shit. Okay, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's no bueno.
No bueno.
That's you wake up like, what the hell? Beetlejuice. Okay, so then the last one is what? You want it good and you want it cheap?
It's not going to be fast.
It's not. No, it's not. That's that, hubby wifey material. That's that shit that you slave over, you sacrifice for, and supposed to be worth it. Supposed to be worth it in the end. Okay. No, so all is that an innuendo? Is that the right term? What is that?
Was a lot of innuendo.
Okay. So all jokes aside, with any product that you want, for, something, I don't want to say a want or an impulse, but for all intents and purposes, if you're wanting to get after something and it's an emotionally driven thing, typically we want it fast, we want it now. We want it to be top of the line.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's why there's shit like BOGOs that just go bananas. People just bonsai markets for Black Friday because they think they're getting a deal. And it's just not, Black Friday is an accounting term. You know what I'm saying? It's got nothing to do with anything else but that. So if you, again, going back to perspective, you're looking back on how and what the shit means to you, you start to see things a little bit differently. And that goes back to what you were talking about with self-awareness. Mm-hmm. That'll bleed right into your motivation / inspiration. I can hate the word motivation.
So do I. It's the worst word ever.
And then ultimately how it can describe or define, I should say, how it defines what trying and doing mean to you, because they're not the same thing.
Nope.
Okay, so I like the word association thing you did the other day when you was it what was that?
That reel.
The reel.
Yeah.
Right. So okay, so when I start
do it again.
You may want to. When I started the biz, it was about and you can ask anybody who's been with me for the decade plus.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if you're a soft listener, I'm sorry about your luck. Okay, go mute the shit. Okay, but when I started my own business, I said jokingly, but in jest, I was like, I want to have my own thing so that I can cuss whenever I want and play black music. Because I was born in '78. Don't even.
I didn't say anything. That was you.
Okay. Mrs. Roots, don't play with me. Okay. Look, so growing up for me, black music was gangster rap.
Uh-huh.
And none of this stuff. Now, you know what I'm saying? So I like that shit. You know what I mean? And it motivated me. It got me in the mood to like just destroy shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? I went after it in sports and in the gym and whatever else. And it brought out a part of me that allowed me to inspire other people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
So, and it just helped me be comfortable with who I am, because I was self-aware enough to know that was what I was that was the skin I liked to wear when I began training. So, when you work at a big box gym or whatever, if you're in a corporate office, you can't, sometimes you just want to stand on top of your desk and
Yo.
your thing. But if you're in a 9 to 5, like I don't think you're going to be able to do that. Thank you for calling customer service. This is I feel good. That's an HR nightmare.
That is not good.
That would be awesome, and I bet you that person has probably got an OnlyFans now.
Oh,
making bazillions of dollars selling pictures of their feet.
Oh gosh.
And we're over here like, hey man, you want to buy an elastic band though? Because I'm trying to keep the lights on. Okay, reeling this back in. So the long and short of it is, though, I did start it for why I designed everything around why people quit.
Right.
Not how to keep people successful.
Mm-hmm.
And this is that's a semantics kind of thing.
No, they're different.
But I wanted to make sure that everybody's goals change. We knew that, but I wanted to make sure that that the one thing that comes is the quit when things get difficult, because more than likely it was harder than they expected. So I wanted to put something together, an operation that was ready when that time came. It wasn't about stopping the flood. It was building a good boat. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And so with that, it was about the right kind of sessions, the right kind of session types. You're getting what you pay for, and you're getting the kind of accountability that you can actually stick with. That is the kind of nagging that you need, but not in a way that makes you feel belittled.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
So if I'm calling you an asshole, it's probably because you're an asshole. It's not. I'm not trying to say like you're worthless and you can't do it, because that's a judgmental thing. And I'm the last person to judge anybody. But if you're an asshole, I'm gonna call you an asshole. Anyways, clearly I'm waiting for my Ritalin to kick in. So with that said, I'm gonna, and you may be able to read my chicken scratch, but if you're listening, I have 4 things I've jotted down. Okay, this is they're descriptors of the process and staying versus quitting. Right? It's too hard. Number 1. Number 2, lack of prioritization, right? Or strengthen prioritization. However you look at that. Yep. Number 3, it's an easy option. It's a no-brainer.
No-brainer.
Number 4, and this is kind of long because I just scribbled. The excuses became reasons because they're justified by logic.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right? Because it's a byproduct of their support system, or they take unexpected circumstances, and that's how they right? Now, what am I describing? What do you think I'm describing? You can answer that one.
The process of people quitting.
Right. I'm not. No? That's the process I go through when I choose to fight through shit.
Yes, that's also very, very true.
Let's take a moment of silence to let that one settle in. Okay, it's about, think about that shit for a second. Number 1 was too hard. For me, it's too hard to quit. Why stop in hell? We went through that. You're going through hell, why stop? It's too hard to quit. Why? Does that not make sense? Is that not logical?
Yeah. That's logical to me.
Prioritization. Yeah, I've prioritized this.
Hell yeah.
You made the decision. You chose, to your point earlier, right?
Right.
The third one, it's an easily accessible option. It's a no-brainer. I don't even think, like, quitting's just not an option.
No.
I don't even,
I was thinking about that yesterday. Like, I feel a lot of times people quit because it was always an option on the table. Yeah. It's not like what is the alternative? If I'm doing this, or like, what's the alternative to doing this? There's no alternative. There's no quit.
And you can fill that table with other options. Just take that one off.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Like, yeah.
Like my wife now. I mean, that's my second wife, right? So, because I don't know how to quit. So the deal was, when we got married, it was the word divorce is off the table. Period. No matter what.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what. And when you both understand that, you agree what that means, you look at things differently. All of a sudden, the inevitable fights, the spats, the bickering, all that shit doesn't mean as much.
Right.
Or does it just mean something different because you're looking at things through a different lens now? Because now you're looking at a difficulty through the lens of solution versus I'm going to bash your face in kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or you're going to just lose your shit and act like a toddler.
Yeah. When we were talking about optimism the other day, that's what goes through my head when I think about optimism. It's not that the glass is half full. It's that there's no other, like, that's not even on my radar. You know what I mean? Like when I'm looking at something, the thought to stop does not even occur to me. You know what I mean? It's like, what else is there to do? This is what's in front of you, so that's what you're going to do. You do it.
Okay. First of all, that water comment was strange because I didn't really understand your your reaction was odd.
Well,
but I don't think I'm not gonna agree with that by saying that the thought of stopping or quitting doesn't occur. Because it's human nature. Like your brain wants to protect you from pain.
To an extent.
But again, going back to there's no two ways about it.
I know what you're saying.
You know what's coming, right?
Yeah.
You can choose not to feel it, I suppose, or you can just choose not to let it get you. And you know, what is the saying that's like, you can't control the actions of others, but you can control what you do about them or something.
Yeah, you can't control you. Yeah.
But I mean, you have to know that when it's going to get hard, and it's going to get hard, there's a part of you that's going to want to dial back and stop. Now, there's a difference between taking a break and quitting. I'm not talking about taking a break. That's
right.
Okay, you got to take a break. Take a break.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. But quitting is a different story because while, those that believe in participation trophies have put out there that, you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience kind of thing. And they kind of sugarcoat that what that actually means. And I don't disagree with that, but I mean, you can start poking, hammering nails in a post in anger, take the nails out and the holes will still be in the post. Right. The damage has been done. You can always rebuild with a new post. Yeah. But the holes are going to be in that first one. So you have to know who you are. And that goes back to self-awareness and to understand that it all goes back to the perspective of it all, right? So if it's an easy option, cool. Then make part B of that option saying, well, all right, if I quit, what's going to happen? Yeah. It's going to feel great now. And if it doesn't make you feel terrible later or make you feel quitting remorse later on, you may not have wanted it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So know it before I'm not going to say wait till you're ready before you start or whatever else, because that's not what I'm saying. Yeah. What I'm saying is really understand what you're trying to get after. And again, that goes back to your self-awareness, right? Right. And then the last one, no resistance, justification, emotional, justification of emotional decision by logic. Well, it makes sense. Something happened. Wow, somebody bought $4,000 to Budapest on my credit card. Now I can't afford it. Like as if there's no other way to get around things. So like that's a legitimate reason to panic over finances, for example. Yeah. Not a good reason to quit. Explore that. Talk it out. Figure it out. Do you have fraud protection? Can you speak to the person you're working out with and explain the situation? Like there's a lot of different options out there. You know what I'm saying? That reminds me of No One Cares, Work Harder. Yes. And the good news about exercise is gym or no gym, band or no band, YouTube is still free. You can always find something. So there's always a way around that sort of thing. My dad used to say there's always another way to skin a cat. I mean, that's not his like term or whatever, but that's a popular thing. Everybody understands what that means. And so if you know that, at least as a possibility in life, then the question you need to ask is, do you know that for yourself? Right? So if I took all that and put it together for the people that that have given those kinds of excuses, I should say, well, I gotta, I want to put it on hold, or I want to quit now, or those who just don't even want to start. Yeah. Like for all the reasons that we've talked about, like what do you think they would say to this dialogue? I think that's the hard thing too. I mean, people when people are ready to quit or to not start, and they're justifying it for themselves. So sometimes you can say whatever you want, but they're still in their head justifying it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So what's it going to take though? I mean, if you're that person,
self-awareness,
and you were okay, but do you? I don't know. Do you think that there's a point in your life that is there a point in your life that was that time that you could have that light bulb could have gone off? I mean, if you're listening to this and you have no idea who we are, which is cool, no problem. Thanks for listening. And any part of this is ringing a bell. Like, think about that moment where that fight or flight, or you took the easy way out, or da 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 da. And again, listen, the path of least resistance, I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it. But let's not confuse, pacifism for just being a flat out fucking quitter. Running from your problems never, ever works, because Father Time, Big Daddy of Death, they run faster than everybody, and they will hunt you down. You know what I'm saying? They will hunt you down. So like even the youth athletes I'm training, right? It's like, I've been doing this long enough to know if there's an injury or if you're not feeling well or whatever.
Right.
Like nowadays, especially, mental health is a thing. Yes. Definitely. And sometimes, especially the youth athletes, they need somebody to reach out to. They need an outlet that's non-traditional. Mm-hmm. Cool. I'm down.
Yeah.
But we've also been training those kids from a society standpoint, a social standpoint, to kind of bleed it a little bit. And I'm not saying anybody, like, the kids are making up shit, but it gets real easy for them to just say, I need time out. I need personal space. I need this. I need this. I need this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like, sure, you do need personal space, but what you need is personal space between your ears. You need a second to reflect. That doesn't mean it necessarily needs to happen coincidentally when it's a workout that you suck balls at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, nobody has that moment. I mean, really. I mean, that's not true. I shouldn't say that. When you're having that like come to Jesus moment on a workout, you really feel like your soul is just going to kick you in the spleen and dip. That you're like, wow, I really need a moment to think to myself, like, the hell? Like, if you have that kind of calm, you're either a psychopath, relax, I just want to take some pictures, or you're really not dying in that moment, right?
Yeah, or it's not that hard.
Yeah.
I realized that after one of our October workouts, I was standing there and I'm like, man, I finished the whole thing and I was like, that was terrible. And I did not even have 1 second to stop and think about how terrible while I was doing it.
See, so yesterday, that workout I posted, I'm so sore right now. I feel.
Would you do 500 push-ups in 24 minutes?
If you call them push-ups, 24 minutes, 31,
something
32
that looks
seconds.
Like push-ups, kind of.
Dude, the first 200 were okay, and it took me all of the 16 some odd minutes to get them in. They were okay at best.
Oh.
And that's whether or not you broke my elbow.
Man,
if I
did not break
healthy,
your elbow.
Please, okay. I'm right-handed. You know how hard it is for me to wipe my ass with my left hand because of you? I ain't got a bidet, okay? And I'm not going to go scooting across the carpet either like a dog. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
So no, you're not. Because you don't even think, you know what? That's for a different day. Asshole. So, like, I knew the moment I got into that segment. I wrote a workout, a tri-segmented workout where it was that I put 15 minutes set, 10, mm-hmm. 25 minutes set, 10 minutes set, 15 minutes set, right? And the push-ups was the 10-minute set. And like a dumbass, for some reason, I don't know, the trainer brain in me dipped and I was thinking I was fucking Superman. Like, cool, let's knock out 500 push-ups. Like, that was just me being mad that I had chosen work, like table work, working on a computer over my own exercise. And this is what I get. And I was mad at myself. So I just went ahead and went after it, right? Yeah. Man, 16 minutes came, dude. It was supposed to be 10 minutes, but I earned myself a credit of 6 minutes and 31 seconds. So the seconds automatically jumped to 16 minutes and 31 seconds. And I was like begging for Jesus to take me at like number 7.
Push-up 7 or minute 7?
No, man, push-up 7. I am so sore right now. I feel like sin manifested in the physical. You know what I mean? Like, man. Like, every time I've ever laughed at somebody falling off a treadmill, it's like it's coming back to get me. Like, that's what you get. Boom. You know what I mean? Oh. And the 50 squats with the 135 wasn't a joke either. That was also difficult. But whatever. Anyway, so I looked at that workout, And like you were talking about, what you were saying, what now about it? Like the Sucktober was.
Yeah, like you don't even have time to think about you don't have time to stop and think the timer's running. Like you need to finish this workout. There's no time to stop and think like, wow, this is terrible. I want to die.
And for me in that workout, the time stopped.
Did it?
It stopped. and it went past. And then I saw myself going into a negative deficit. From counting down, went to counting up because I had to flip the countdown stopwatch to, the timer stopwatch to the stopwatch. And, and it was going up from there. And it was like, you asshole, every minute, this is what you get. This is what you get. This is what you get. And it was like, I knew every moment of it sucked. And I had to ask myself, all right, am I just going to chalk this one up as a failure?
No.
So I can finish. I almost did. Because it was supposed to be, I only allotted time for what?
So why didn't you quit?
Because I'm not a fucking quitter. I used to smoke, okay? Twice. I'm so not a quitter that I kept on smoking. Hey, I'm fully transparent. Listen, the first time around, I quit. I got on Chantix. I was in college. Terrible. In college, you're just an asshole. Whatever, right? Ugh. I smoked. Cool. Whatever. Whatever, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. But I knew it was too much. Dad died of stomach cancer, and I was, you just know better.
Right.
I didn't like how I felt. I was a musician at the time, and while a lot of musicians smoke, it wasn't. I didn't have it like that. So why? It was just stupid. It was bad idea, right?
Yeah.
But it was hard. It's fucking addicting. It's a cigarette. What the hell? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I got on Chantix, and then in the 7-day program or whatever, I was able to quit. It was hard, but I was able to do it. Mm-hmm. Right. Fast forward, I was good to go, and then when I got divorced, whole world fell apart. Mm-hmm. Right. For a laundry list of reasons, but for long, it's not what you think, but from a laundry, like the entire world fell apart. A whole lot of Maury Povich type shit went down, and it stressed the crap out of me. And I just started smoking again out of flat out anger.
Yeah.
Anger. I knew it was bad for me, and I did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, I was just furious. And I think that was one of the original times that I learned the power behind the emotion. Mm-hmm. and how to that's that. Remember that I said about that moment when there's a thing where you're either going to come or you're going to go. You're going to stay. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And for me, that was one of them. And I've had a lot of them because the dark side in me wants to quit. Mm-hmm. And it's the only reason why I'm able to, and what I believe, and I don't mean to sound all, I mean, honestly, if you think I'm being an arrogant asshole, like go F yourself, because I'm being completely straight with you, right? The only reason why I believe that I can shine as bright as anybody is because I know how dark things can get. Mm. And I'm just not afraid of you.
Yeah.
So I quit cold turkey, bought a pack after I decided I quit just to look at. And I sat it on the counter next to the coffee. Mm-hmm. We didn't have a Keurig. I didn't have a Keurig at the time. It was just a regular, good old-fashioned coffee mate. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're young enough or old enough to know what those are.
I have one on my counter. Thank you very much.
You're gonna use your inside voice when speaking to me. Respect your elder. Okay. So I would do that. I would stare at it and I would say, bring the shit.
Yeah.
On purpose, because I learned that, bullies. The thing bullies don't like is being bullied in return, and your fears and the things that make you. If you looked at that list, or if you listen to that list, being too hard, prioritization, easy option, no brainer, excuses become really powerful. There's no resistance. You justify your emotional decisions with logic. If you looked at all of those and said, "Oh, that's reasons why people quit," and not looking at them as reasons why people stay. Think about that for a minute, right? Why? Why is that?
That's intriguing.
I looked at those. And don't get me wrong. There's what's a glutton for punishment? What's the word? There's a term for crazy people like that. What
masochist?
Yes, I've been called that many a time.
I'm not surprised.
Many times. What? Listen, I walk in today. It was supposed to be a stretchy Tuesday, and I've never heard so many.
I didn't say I wasn't
in my life. Coming out of what kind of stretch is this, Barbie? No way.
Nobody called me Barbie.
Beep. No, the Rickon did. She was screaming at you. Anyway, I never heard that many F-bombs ever. That's not true. Yes, I have. I'm a boy. I've heard a lot of F-bombs. Anyway, so when you're thinking about what commitment means, right? I guess the long and short of it is when you reel it all back in, what the fuck are you talking about? Mm-hmm. Know who you are. Mm-hmm. And then it comes down to the execution, right? If you need help, ask somebody.
Yeah.
Right? Like, subscribe, follow, right? But it comes down to the decision that you have to make. Once you decide what that moment is and the kind of person you are, the stay versus going, trying versus doing. Here it is at 24 minutes and 42 seconds. Perfect, right?
Yeah.
Trying versus doing. What is the difference?
Oh, I feel trying is basically saying that's something I'd like to do, but it's too hard and I'm just not going to finish it. When I hear somebody say, I'll try, in my head, they just told me no.
So that's okay. That's a degree for sure. That's to me, that's before you even actually get at it.
And doing is like, if you're going to do something, then you're going to see it through. You're committing to it.
Yes,
you're going to do it.
With the awareness of how it has, well, see, because effort can only be judged by you and you.
Absolutely.
Right. I'll tell the athletes all the time, I don't want you to try your best. That's just your price of entry.
Yeah.
Trying your best is like, that's a prerequisite. Like, do I really have to ask you to try your best? What, you want me to give you a high five? Yeah. Well, I tried. Really?
No.
Because when you practice, that's trying. Cool. You're trying to perfect something. You know what I mean? And if you quit in a game and whatnot, or you quit in the workplace, or you quit at that rep, then anything that you've performed against, you've practiced to make permanent. It's the issue. People think practice makes perfect. No, practice makes permanent.
That issue of trying kills me. That really fires me up.
Right. So are you trying your best? Cool. Or doing your best?
And I feel like if you're telling yourself you're trying your best, but you're not actually accomplishing what you set out to do, you're lying to yourself. Or you're in that justification phase.
Yeah, but even still, failing, quote unquote, failing, can still be a part of
absolutely
accomplishing something, because you didn't quit.
Yeah.
That's
yes.
Right?
Yes.
You failed forward. Cool. Yes. What's wrong with that?
I wouldn't even, I don't know. In some cases, my head wants to say that I wouldn't even count failing as a try. That's a do. You didn't get to it. You didn't. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Sure. And I'm sure that you could go and just break that down 100 different ways. Yes. But for all intents and purposes, that's a lot for me to say. Let's just keep it simple. You know what I mean? Let's just keep it simple on this. Trying something and doing something are two different things.
Totally different.
Right? Again, I took divorce off the table. I'm not trying a marriage. I'm doing a marriage.
Right.
Good intentions, best intentions, solid intentions, and so on. Right? Ain't nobody perfect or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can try that rep. You can try this. You can try this. You can try that. But understand that if you've taken that step, you're no longer tried. Now you're doing.
I think that goes back to self-awareness too. Like, I constantly catch myself. I'm about to say, even sometimes when I'm talking to you, I type in, okay, I'll try. And I delete it before I send it. Like, no, I'm not trying anything. I'm going to do it. Like, I'll figure it out.
And your progress is now like, it's all over. Like, you're able to you ask different questions. You go after different things, because when you realize that your deepest fear is not that you are inadequate, but your deepest fear is that you are actually powerful beyond measure, everything changes. Everything changes.
Yep. When you really, truly realize that.
But you have to ask yourself, why can't I do that?
I have that written on my wall in my office at home.
Because in my world, where all of those things are why I stay in my world, can't means won't.